the wild prostitute who became the grandmother of Jesus Christ. What if I told you that one of Jesus Christ's grandmothers was a prostitute? Not a former prostitute, not a saint with a hidden past, but a woman whose house was known for late-night visits, whispered names, and secrets exchanged in the dark. Would you believe me? Her name was Rahab, and her story isn't just tucked into a forgotten corner of the Bible. It's right there, front and center, in the genealogy of Jesus himself. So, how does a woman like that end up in the family line of the Son of God? Let's go back, way back, to a city called Jericho, a wealthy, fortified place where the walls were high, the culture was pagan, and the people were living wild. And inside that city lived Rahab. She wasn't known for her prayers or her piety. She was known for her body. Rahab was a prostitute. The Bible doesn't sugarcoat it. It doesn't call her a hostess or innkeeper. It calls her exactly what she was. She had a business, and it was booming. Men came from all over the city. Soldiers, merchants, strangers. Her home was built into the very wall of Jericho, both symbolically and literally on the edge of society. But Rahab wasn't just a body for sale. She was smart, observant, streetwise. She heard things. She paid attention. And over time, a strange pattern began to emerge in the stories she overheard. Before we dive deeper into Rahab's incredible story, I want to take a quick moment to ask for your support. If you're enjoying this video and finding value in the story, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends so more people can be inspired by Rahab's journey of faith and redemption. Thank you for being part of this community, and let's keep exploring these powerful stories together. A group of people, Hebrews, who had escaped slavery in Egypt and were marching across the wilderness. A God who had humbled Pharaoh. A sea that split in two. Enemies that fell. Rumors swirled like dust storms. And deep in Rahab's heart, a question formed. What if their God is the real one? She couldn't explain it. She just knew. The way a gut feeling rises before danger strikes. The way silence before a storm doesn't just mean peace. It means something powerful is coming. Then, one day, 2 Israelite spies came into the city. Sent by Joshua, the leader of the Israelites, their mission was to scout the land before the coming invasion. Somehow, they ended up at Rahab's house. Why her house? Maybe because strangers didn't raise eyebrows there. Maybe because it was easy to get in and out unnoticed. Or maybe, just maybe, because God had a divine appointment scheduled in the most unlikely of places. When the king of Jericho heard there were spies in the city, he immediately sent guards to Rahab's door. She could have handed them over, saved herself, stayed on the king's good side. But instead, she made a split-second decision that changed everything. She hid them, risked her life to protect 2 men she didn't even know. And when the king's men came knocking, she lied. Boldly, cleverly, told them the spies had already left at dusk, and if they hurried, they might still catch them. The soldiers left. The house went quiet. And upstairs, Rahab turned to the spies and said words that stunned them. I know that the Lord has given you this land. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt. When we heard of it, our hearts melted in fear. Then she said something even more powerful. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. Think about that. A Canaanite prostitute declaring faith in the God of Israel. Before the battle, before the victory, before the promise was fulfilled. She believed not because she had seen miracles firsthand, but because she had heard about them. And that was enough. Faith doesn't always come wrapped in clean robes and temple songs. Sometimes it's found in the dusty breath of a woman the world has thrown away. Rahab made a request. Swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. The spies agreed. They told her to hang a scarlet cord in her window, so when the Israelites came to destroy the city, her household would be spared. That scarlet cord became her salvation. It wasn't just a signal. It was a symbol, a thread of redemption hanging in the face of destruction. When the walls of Jericho fell with a thunderous crash and the city was reduced to rubble, one part of the wall remained standing: Rahab's house. She and her family were saved. But her story didn't end there. She didn't just escape death. She entered life, a new life. Rahab became part of the Israelite community. She left behind her old ways, her old gods, her old name in the streets. She married a man named Salmon, a noble Israelite, and together they had a son, Boaz. Yes, that Boaz, the one who would one day marry Ruth, another outsider with a courageous heart. Their son was Obed. Obed fathered Jesse, and Jesse fathered David, the shepherd boy who would become king. And generations later, from David's line, came Jesus Christ. So, let this sink in. A prostitute from a pagan city didn't just get saved. She didn't just join God's people. She became the great-great-grandmother of Israel's greatest king, and an ancestor of the King of Kings. God didn't hide her story. He highlighted it. When Matthew opened his gospel and listed the genealogy of Jesus, Rahab's name wasn't skipped or buried. It was boldly placed alongside the patriarchs and kings. Why? Because Rahab's story is proof that God's grace doesn't avoid the messy. It moves straight into it. He doesn't just forgive the sinner. He reimagines their story, rewrites their ending, rebuilds their legacy from the ashes. Maybe your past feels too broken. Maybe people have labeled you by your lowest moment. Maybe you've believed that where you came from is a curse you'll never shake. But Rahab's life screams a different message. God uses the unexpected. He calls the unqualified. He redeems the rejected. And he turns prostitutes into matriarchs of miracles. Her past didn't disqualify her. It prepared her. Her courage, her sharpness, her street smarts. Those were the very tools God used to rescue her family and weave her into the lineage of the Messiah. She didn't earn her place. She simply believed. She had faith when it mattered most. And that faith put her name not just in history books, but in the story of salvation. The next time someone tells you that your past defines your future, tell them about Rahab. Tell them about the wild prostitute who became the grandmother of Jesus Christ. Because when God writes your story, there's no such thing as too far gone. Only grace, only purpose, only redemption. And sometimes, the biggest miracles begin with the most unexpected people.